Let's get one thing straight here. The Indiana Jones films played a massive role in my childhood. They were as important as curly-whirly chocolate bars and games of doctors and nurses with my beautiful next-door neighbour, Claudine. And guess what? I actually sold my left kidney to go and meet Indiana Jones. Yes, I did. Don't believe me? Well, check out this bad boy taken from the set of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. That cheeky chappie wearing the tablecloth is me. And that's my brother next to me. He didn't have to sell his left kidney. And from right to left, you've got some guy called Spielberg, Alison Doody, who played Dr. Elsa Schneider, Harrison Ford, John Rhys Davies, who played Salah, and some dude who gate-crashed the photo. Now, here's another snap. My brother in the middle looks like he's holding his privates. He wasn't. I can vouch for him. He only takes his privates out at church services. I, on the other hand, look like I'm staring at Alison Doody's boobies. In fact, I was hungry and was trying to work out what was in her mug. I seem to remember it was tomato cuppa soup. Or it might have been tea. Or maybe coffee. Anyway, you can only imagine my excitement at the release of Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, which picks up a mere 19 years after Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. A somewhat creakier Indy meets Shia LaBeouf's rebellious teenager Mutt Williams, and Mutt tells our man about a mysterious map and the legend of a crystal skull, which might uncover the ancient city of El Dorado. Throw in Cate Blanchett's villainous Ukrainian dominatrix Agent Spalko, and let's go dig for treasure. Clips Mortimer.
Where was he found?
In Mexico. They were digging in the dirt, looking for this stuff.
You're not from around here, are you?
Where is it you would imagine I am from, Dr. Jones?
Well, the way you're sinking your teeth into those W's, I should think maybe Eastern Ukraine.
Highest marks. Colonel Dr. Irina Spalko. 3 times I have received Order of Lenin. Also, Medalist Hero of Socialist Labor. And why? Because I know things. I know them before anyone else. And what I do not know, I find out. Now, what I need to know now is in here.
The thing I liked about the Indiana Jones films is that they felt real. Indy was funny, cool and desirable, and the action romped along hard and fast. And best of all, the villains were pure, undistilled evil. So there was that terrifying Nazi gentleman in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Looked like a kiddie fiddler with a penchant for hand tattoos. And then you had the pant-wettingly frightening Mola Ram in the Temple of Doom with his penchant for slave boys and raw-beating hearts. Ooh, scary. Even the little Maharaja was an incredible smug little twat, and I'm glad he got it in the end. My first reaction on watching Crystal Skull was how depressingly unimpressive the baddies were. Ray Winstone, who could frighten Hitler by blowing his nose, is about as terrifying as a lullaby from Mary Poppins on a sun-drenched Caribbean island. Meanwhile, Cate Blanchett's Ukrainian Cruella de Ville schtick is beyond parody, her accents touring more Eastern European countries than a card-carrying gap year student. To call her performance wooden would be a disservice to puppetry. How very disappointing. So far, so bad. And there's more bad news to come in the form of 2 words that should be 3. Shia LaBeauf. What is it with Hollywood's love affair with Shia? Can someone please tell me? While he's by no means an embarrassment as Indy's sidekick, he's just not that interesting either. Compare him to ShortRound in Temple of Doom and you're left with plain vanilla. Or perhaps just lavanille. Perhaps this movie could be redeemed by its plot. After all, it did hire a proper screenwriter in the form of David Kopp. Ha! To say that this story lacked the Indy special sauce would be the understatement of all time. Its central axis is a crystal skull that looks like something you'd get in a novelty shop. And the denouement of the story, which I won't ruin for you now, is so far-fetched and so ridiculous that I felt physically abused. And that's simply not good enough. So finally, we're left with the man that made all of this possible in the first place. Indiana Jones. Now, to be fair to Ford, he does a remarkable job for a 65-year-old. But all of the elements that endeared me to Indy in the first place, the wisecracks, the boyish flirtations, the real sense of danger, have dried up like liquid fun going down the plug hole of mediocrity. Indiana Jones, rest in peace. The Crystal Skull let me down badly. In fact, scrap that, it's the greatest heartache I've suffered since losing my left kidney all those years ago. If you haven't seen the movie yet, please don't bother. Just leave those final memories intact. 2 stars.